Hello everyone, Namaste. I'm back with another episode of RightCast. I'm your host Pandey. Today we have very esteemed guest, Mr. Doug Waters, Head of International Recruitment and Partnership, Abertay University. Abertay University is located in Dundee, Scotland, and today we'll be delving into various aspects of Abertay University, courses, and many more things. So let's welcome Mr. Doug. Welcome to RightCast.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Okay, so how are you feeling to be here in Nepal?
It's fantastic. I've been here many times, but this is the first time for over 10 years.
Okay.
So it's a real pleasure to be back here in Kathmandu and to be visiting partners and meeting with so many great students.
Okay, that's great to know. So, Doug, I would like to initiate our conversation asking you about the Abertay University itself. Could you please tell about the location, about the Abertay University to our students?
Sure, happy to do so. So Abertay University is based in Dundee, Scotland. It's a university of around 5,000 students teaching programs across business, across engineering and science, computer science, game design, cybersecurity.
Okay. As Abertay University is widely recognized for gaming, cybersecurity and business program, could you please share what makes it stand out for the international student?
Sure, yeah. Well, certainly in the case of our hacking programs and game design, because we invented them. The world's first game design degree was offered at Abertay back in 1997. The ethical hacking program was born at Abertay University in 2006. So we have the longest track record in teaching these programs globally, but also across other subjects, including business. I think you'll find at Abertay that the support for students in our much smaller class sizes, typically around 16 or 18 students, is something that really makes the program stand out. We're teaching very practical disciplines within business, really career-focused programs. This is not a university where you will read something really broad and then have to wonder what your next career step's going to be. We believe that we're teaching students not only preparing them for the jobs of today, but actually for the jobs of the future. And we've been doing that for a very long time. So I think students are really welcomed and valued at Abertay and given a real opportunity to flourish by being closer to their professors in these smaller classes.
That's all right. What I've felt is many students prefer to go to study in London. So what do you have to say to those students to explore Abertay University and Dundee?
Sure, yeah, certainly London is a popular destination, but Scotland actually hosts the second largest number of international students in the UK of all the UK regions after London. So it's a very popular destination for international students already. And I think whilst London is a fantastic city, Dundee, our city, has lots to do. It's a real city environment in which the universities that are based around the city are very well connected. And in fact, Abertay is right downtown within the city. So you do still get that city environment, but at a fraction of the cost. Affordability is a real driver for many students globally at the moment. The world economic challenges that everybody is facing, we do want our pocket to go further. And I think particularly for students, but also their parents, where they want to know that their child is able to focus on their academics without the stress of wondering how they're going to afford groceries, accommodation, etc. You'll find that the cost of living in Dundee is around 30% cheaper than a city such as London. So you have the opportunity to come to the UK, to graduate with the same degree that you would get anywhere else in the UK, but in an environment where life will be easier for you. You will be in a city that you can walk straight off campus and be downtown and have access to everything that you need, and that your pocket will go further. Because there are so many universities in our region, about 50% of the downtown area of Dundee's population are students. So for that reason, the city environment all of the market is based around students. So the housing market is based around students and student rentals. So typically you can find, you'll be able to live on your own for around £400 per month. That's just not possible in a larger city such as London. If you're going for a coffee or a meal, you will really see the difference, even compared with cities 1 hour away, such as Edinburgh or Glasgow. I'm from Edinburgh myself, and when I moved to Dundee, I was shocked, actually genuinely, at how much cheaper it is for things such as your housing, but also enjoying yourself. And university is not only about the classroom. Students really do need to consider what their life is going to be like. when they're taking such a big critical decision to pursue their higher studies, and being able to do so without the stress of making that next bill, and being able to focus on academics, but being able to focus on enjoying yourself and developing as a socially conscious person as well, is a really important part of university life. And I think studying in a place like Dundee really gives you that opportunity in a way that is more challenging in other places.
Many international students face difficulty while they move to new country. So how is Abertay University helping international students when they arrive in terms of accommodation or any other things?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's such an important issue for students when they're making their university choice. As I alluded to previously, it's not just about a choice around academic course of study. It's about destination and about where you're choosing to spend a considerable formative part of your life. You're looking to progress in your studies, but also in your career. And the place that you choose to do that really needs to enable you to succeed. At Abertay, because of the smaller class sizes, you're much closer to professors, so you have that academic support. It's not an environment where it's possible to be anonymous. You'll be joining an international community, students from over 78 different countries who are coming to further their own career potential. They are coming through a transition similar to the ones that the students that will be coming from Kathmandu and the rest of Nepal. And so we have a lot of services put in place, specific services put in place to support students with that transition, because it can be daunting to move to another country. That is inevitable for young people as they're making perhaps their first time overseas. So within the university, students will also be assigned a personal tutor. So this will be an academic member of staff, but not one that is teaching them, so that they have the opportunity there to feedback and to have support around their academics. There's also, within the University Student Services Department, we have a support inquiry zone, SEZ, S-E-Z. And that is a one-stop shop within the university library for students to come with any concerns that they have, from something as trivial as borrowing a laptop if they don't have access to one, finding out how to connect to Wi-Fi services, or if they need more interventionist services such as counselling, support to register with a doctor, support for anything that may be concerning them beyond the classroom. And this is accessible to students around the clock, 24 hours per day. So they will have that side of their pastoral care taken care of very well at Abertay as well. In terms of what the International Office and the rest of the university does to support students, we're very keen always to buddy students as they're coming with a student who's come from a similar background previously. So students from upper years will support freshman students during their initial few months with the simple things that are important to students. How do I find the library? How do I navigate my way around campus? But also, where is the best grocery store to go to near the accommodation? Where do I find the best momo in Dundee? These are the things that will really enable the student to settle and to feel at home, and then to focus on being successful in their studies.
Okay. So I would like to know about the scholarship. Like, what are the ways of scholarship Abertay University is providing to international students?
Sure. Yeah, we're so keen to bring as many talented students to Abertay University as possible, and we will recognise that talent and that academic achievement via scholarships. So we have a scholarship that we award to all students from Nepal, automatically at £3,000. So once the student has the offer of study from us, they will very shortly afterwards, in 1 or 2 days, receive that confirmation of that region-based scholarship. We also then have an academic merit scholarship available, the Principal's Excellence Scholarship. And this is assessed on no separate application, but assessed on the application that they made. And we are looking at two specific things, both the transcripts and the academic history. So if the student is very strong, they have a sort of a GPA beyond 3.5, they will appear as a very good academic candidate for scholarship. But university is also not only about the classroom, as I keep saying here. Students are joining a community, and we want them to add value to that community beyond the classroom as well. So within the SOP statement, it's so important that students address what makes them, you should make sure you address what makes you, you. What do you do beyond the classroom, whether that's sports, whether that's volunteering, whether that's community engagement, music, drama, theatre, whatever it is that you do that you will continue to do when you come to Scotland and study at Abertay. We want you to keep doing that, and we want you to add value to the organisations that are there in the city already. Mm-hmm. So extracurricular achievement and experience is very important as well. And so we will award scholarships on that basis where students demonstrate that in the SOP.
Okay. We all know education system is quite different. Like in Nepal it's quite different, and UK is definitely different. And they come from different cultures, they will face different cultural challenges there also. So what do you have to say to the students? Like, what are the skills they could develop here in Nepal before going to UK?
Mm-hmm. I think the one word there in your last sentence or last part of the question is so key when understanding what education will be like when you come to study in the UK and at somewhere like Abertay, and that is skills. Yeah. You know, we are not teaching you to sit in a classroom, listen to what is being told to you, remember it, and then write it down in an exam. Yeah. That is not how education works anymore. Mm-hmm. We're teaching you the skills to then apply the knowledge that you know into different circumstances within your assessments, and then later in your career. We're, in subjects such as cybersecurity and many others are now totally multi-sectoral. Students will likely have 6 or 7 different careers throughout their time working after studies, and they may switch from hospitality to finance over into engineering if they have the skills base in business and science and in computer science to move across different companies and different organizations and progress in their career. So it's a very applied education, very practical, very vocational, regardless of the discipline that they choose to come and study with us. So it's not regurgitate information that you've been told already, but actually work with new technology, understand new technology, and then that will enable you to be to an asset to the company that you choose to work for after your studies.
Okay. So now I would like to ask you about the career services in the Abertay University. So does our university provide, career guidance to the students after graduation or what?
Both during and after, yes, we do. And we have a fantastic careers team at Abertay University. My best advice to students, when you get there, sign up with a career service straight away. Mm-hmm. Don't wait until 1 month before you're graduating. Don't wait until you've graduated to think about what is next, because you're building up your work profile as you're studying at Abertay. You'll be given work experience opportunities on all of our programs. The courses are embedded with those. And you want to be reflecting on those experiences, building up your resume to make you more employable once you graduate. So enroll with Career Service. They will help you with building that resume, with understanding how UK interviews work. These will be different for students from around the world as to the interview experience that they might have had before. That gives them they can do mock interviews and practice and feel confident that once they find that position that they want to apply for, that they have the best chance of getting it. Now, the Career Service applies, students are eligible for 3 years after they graduate to continue to use the Abertay Career Service, because it's very important for us that students find that career job. We don't want students putting in an investment, both in terms of finances, but an emotional family investment into a student's education, and then find themselves working in KFC. If you have an engineering degree, you should be working in engineering. If you have a computer science degree, you should be working. Well, if you have a computer science degree, you can work in any sector. But that's really what we're hoping to achieve. And we have 96% of our students in employment or further study within 6 months of graduation. It's something that's very, very important to us in terms of the way the programs are designed, but also in terms of what is right for students. As I say, it's such a big investment for students that we want them to be set on that right path. It reflects well for the student, obviously, but also on us as an institution.
Okay. So being the head of International Recruitment Partnership, what do you think, international students have been lacking when they come? So what suggestion would you like to give to the students?
I think confidence is probably the most important thing. It can be daunting for sure to move to a new environment, to move to a different culture, and try to succeed. But be yourself. The value that international students bring to the classroom extends way beyond the tuition fees that they're paying. They enrich the experience of the local students as well. because university is about different perspectives coming together to discuss societal problems. Then they become the future leaders that solve society's problems. And the experience of all of our students is enriched by having students from many different countries. And that's very important for students when you're choosing your university. Don't only go where everybody is from the same place, because that is not an international experience. You know, your friends will be somewhere, they may be having a great time. By all means, take their advice. But it's really important, particularly in a place like Abertay, I think, to be yourself. Our students that thrive are the ones that do that. So be the person that says, actually, this place is the right one for me. It's supportive. There's small class sizes. The city is compact enough that my extracurricular life will be easier. So yeah, I think be bold. You hold a lot of power, and students hold a lot of power in this relationship as they make university decisions. And they should be demanding. They should, universities around the world are in Nepal looking for talented students, and they should have the confidence to say before they apply, I want to speak to some students. I want to speak to some alumni from my program to understand what that experience is like. Good universities will enable that for you. Our students have voted us the top university in Scotland in the National Student Satisfaction Survey for the last 3 years. We are very confident in the experience that our students have. And so, if you're engaging with Abertay University, you're making an application, ask my office, can I speak to a Nepali student, to a South Asian student who's made the similar transition to me, so that I understand what that experience is going to be like. And then once you get there and you're in the classroom, it's impossible to be anonymous. With small class sizes, sit in the front, ask questions, because you're going to get a really valuable education, push yourself forward. And then whether you choose to work in the UK or you're planning to come back to Nepal to improve industries here, you're going to have a lot of experience that's going to be valuable there.
Okay. So what's your suggestion to the student after graduation? Do you want to say to them to stay for 2 years or get back to home country?
Well, students are entitled to work for 2 years afterwards. And as I mentioned before, it's really important to us that when they do that in an industry job. Otherwise, we're failing the students. They obviously play a part because they need to come, study hard, work hard, go to their interviews and impress employers. But we really want students, even if they're only doing 2 years work, to get that career industry experience, whether they're bringing that back here or they decide to settle. Now, settling in particular sectors and industries is easier than in others, and settling in particular locations is easier than in others as well. Scotland is a country of only 6 million people, but the land mass is roughly over 1/3 of the UK. And so we do need talented people in certain sectors to stay and settle. But Nepal also has challenges to face, as every country does. And so whether the students choose to settle in the UK and help us in Scotland, or they choose to come back here and support industries in Nepal, I think they're going to be, these are the future leaders that are going to do that. And they will have the opportunity with an education in Scotland to make either choice.
As we wrap up, I would like to ask the last question. Any one piece of advice you would like to give to the students who are aspiring to go to UK in coming intakes?
Great question. There are obviously so many things to consider, but if I would leave with one, it would be consider the place. Most university programs are good. The education that you'll find will be good, but you have to put yourself first and think about where you will be successful. What is life going to be like there? So these are really the questions that you should be asking. Many of the ones, such as the ones that you've asked me today. Ask the university, do your research into the university as to what support is available for you in careers. Ask what support is available to you if you face any challenges when you get there.